Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're stripping away the glamour of fancy color diamonds to reveal a multi-million-dollar problem happening right on the manufacturing floor. When we think of diamonds, we usually just picture that sparkling final product sitting in a retail case. But today, we're going behind closed doors into the high-stakes, high-pressure world of diamond planning and cutting. Just imagine the pressure here. You've got a raw stone locked into a high-tech machine, and the exact moment that blade touches the rough, manufacturers face immense financial pressure. Every single fraction of a millimeter cut away alters the final weight, the color, and ultimately the market value of that gem. For decades, the custodians of these precious stones have had to make these permanent, irreversible decisions essentially in the dark. So here's the crucial question. How do you accurately price a diamond before it's even cut, when you're essentially just guessing its final form and yield? Think about it. You have a rough stone sitting right in front of you. You know you can cut it into several different shapes, sure, but you don't actually know what the market will pay for those specific shapes until the diamond is finished and handed over to the sales team. It is a massive gamble. Here's our roadmap for this explainer. First, the pricing blind spot. 2, the FCRF Cutwise solution. 3, yield versus true market value. And 4, how art becomes precise science. Let's get right into it. Section 1, the pricing blind spot. Guesswork in the diamond industry. To really understand the stakes, we have to look at what the industry calls the pricing blind spot. For decades, there's been this literal disconnect where the team polishing the stone operates totally blind from the team actually selling it. The planners and cutters are in one room, optimizing for what they think looks best or weighs the most. Meanwhile, the sales team is in a completely different room dealing with actual buyers and real-world market demands. Because these two teams didn't share a real-time, objective reference point for value, well, every price assigned to a planning alternative was basically pure estimation. FCRF CEO Roy Soffit really hit the nail on the head regarding this dilemma. Manufacturers were previously forced to guess real market value when choosing between beauty and carat weight. Do you cut the stone to be as heavy as possible, or do you cut it to have the most vibrant, fancy color? Without real market economics guiding that process, manufacturers were leaving massive amounts of money on the table simply because they couldn't see the future value of their cuts. Moving on to Section 2, the FCRF Cutwise solution, bringing real-time data to the table. So, to fix this multi-million-dollar black hole, the Fancy Color Research Foundation joined forces with technology developers Octonus-Lexus TechnoMist to create the Cutwise platform. And what's absolutely wild about this system is that for the first time ever, it attaches real, live, wholesale prices directly to rough planning alternatives. Before a single cut is made, a manufacturer can see exactly what an oval shape, a pear shape, or a heart shape from that specific rough stone is positioned to command in the current marketplace. And it doesn't just stop at the basic shape either. The software meticulously calculates all those tiny visual nuances. It evaluates intergrade and color saturation, moving from weak to moderate to strong, intense, all the way to very strong. The Cutwise software models the physical light and color dispersion, completely shifting the entire planning process from a subjective visual guess by the cutter to hard, undeniable data. Now, why does this matter so much? Well, it proves how deeply integrated and rigorously updated this data actually is. We aren't just talking about arbitrary numbers pulled out of thin air. The wholesale pricing securely feeds straight from the FCRF's heavily tested quarterly index directly to the manufacturer. And crucially, it operates under the absolute highest level of strict confidentiality. The prices generated remain strictly within the manufacturer's own view, so their private business data is never, ever exposed. All right, Section 3, yield versus true market value, a concrete example. Let's look at how this plays out in practice. Instinctively, a manufacturer wants to preserve the raw material, right? So they might choose to cut a 1.15 carat radiant cut with only medium visual assets, just to get a heavier yield. However, when you plug this into the Cutwise platform with the FCRF data, the true value comparison reveals a massive surprise. The smaller 1.01 carat pear shape, because it yields perfect color dispersion, is actually a much more profitable outcome. By comparing side-by-side digital renderings generated directly in the platform, the guesswork is completely eliminated. The production team in the cutting room and the sales team in the boardroom finally have a shared objective reference point. They can look at the exact same digital iterations and align their strategy around a common understanding of value, again, before a single physical cut is ever made. Vishal Shah, the managing director of Star Gems Group, really validated this shift. He pointed out that in a luxury industry where margins matter at every single step, taking the guesswork out of planning is an absolute game changer. Having this capability at the most critical point of the manufacturing pipeline doesn't just save money, it fundamentally shifts the entire focus toward maximizing returns.
Which brings us to Section 4. Art becomes precise science, the industry shift.
Stepping back to look at the big picture, the main takeaway from this explainer is simply this: diamond cutting is no longer a guessing game. By eradicating that planning black hole, this tech integration creates a truly collaborative, data-driven strategy. It perfectly balances raw material utilization with true market value, ensuring every single carat of rough is planned for maximum return, all while upholding that vital organizational confidentiality. This whole breakthrough, empowered by the non-trading, fact-based FCRF alongside the cutting-edge technology of Lexus TechnoMist and Octonus, sets an entirely new standard. It means that the manufacturers, the true custodians of these precious stones, can finally, confidently maximize the beauty and the economic worth of their goods. And that leaves us with a pretty fascinating question to ponder as we wrap up. If real-time market data and advanced modeling can turn the ancient, subjective art of diamond cutting into a precise, calculated economic science, what other legacy artisanal industries are about to be completely disrupted next? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. I hope it illuminated a hidden side of the diamond trade for you. Keep analyzing, keep questioning, and I'll catch you on the next one.